Welcome, Records of Evil. Do not mind fan in my background.
It was hot in Pennsylvania.
It is hot in Pennsylvania. The temperature decided to have
cold in California. I think the world's having a freak out.
Probably. Our temperatures decided to have a way switch thing. I was plotting, definitely plotting and not chatting about cicadas with Umbre.
Yeah, we didn't spend like 40 minutes talking about cicadas.
Definitely.
Uh-huh, and I was definitely plotting something. Anyway.
China one's gonna eat you on Friday.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I have stats for
that does remind me of a very amusing thing I saw one time, which is all like, there are cicadas that come out, every year, and there's cicadas that come out every 17 years. There are cicadas that come out like every 100 years. But little do we know, we don't know it. But what you don't know is that there's an Earth cicada at the planet's core that comes out, and we don't know when it will come out. But when it does, the world will end.
Sounds about right. Damn you, Earth cicada. Anyway, last time we played, which was a couple weeks, I don't remember.
2 weeks, I think is
2 or 3 weeks.
My brain does not work on time scales anymore, so I'm going to say a little bit ago. Everybody took a trip, chatted with an old man, everybody's favorite old man. You learned successfully that he'd be willing to give up his inheritance. But there are stipulations to the entire thing.
Oh, cool. It was 4 weeks ago.
Ah. Anyway, those stipulations are that because the entire metaphysical spiritual thing, he wants his body to be the victim of possession of Asmodeus, most likely kill him, but then use his body in which to create the dark spawn of your Dark Lord. I mean,
3 weeks ago.
You already had been convincing a woman to, have your evil devil child. Now you have to just include, by the way, through this old man. I mean, it's a thing, and you have two possibles. You have rich spoiled lady and rehab lady, whose names someone has written down somewhere.
One is named Jessica, the other is named Celise, I think.
Celise is the rehab lady, and Jessica is the rich lady.
We have Jessica Stone, who's the online presence person who's in her 40s, has the younger brother married, but no children yet to come. Then you've got Celsian Tress, the drug addict who is not in great shape and is currently being weaned off Black Viper. I'm the notator.
Yep. Sounds about right. So, you find yourselves back in New Waterdeep, having had your meeting with everybody's favorite half-elf old man. What's your plan now? Celise is getting her rehab work. It's coming along. Celise and Andreas. It's still a process. It's gonna be weeks before she's clean. It's quite a while. So it's the middle of it.
And we mostly consider the backup plan because her body might not survive impregnation of a deity.
Potentially.
Mm-hmm.
I don't guarantee the other one will either.
The other one is,
Party animal.
Party animal and human. And in her... She's reaching an age where there's more difficulties. Not impossibilities, but more difficulties, unfortunately. So it's sort of like, you don't have any great choices.
Work with what we got.
Mm-hmm.
Ever.
Docs will go and see how she's doing. Docs has not been here for a bit. He just took a trip to another continent. How our forcefully rehabbed person is doing.
Well,
Yeah.
she's alive. She seems to be doing fine. She's still resting. They're doing all. This is like the time period where probably they're just really waning stuff off. So they actually have her unconscious through a lot of the parts of it. The doctor will explain is during this first couple of weeks they kind of like tend to keep the person sedated heavily because it's not pleasant to be weaned off of it. There's a lot of pain and damage being dealt to the body. And, like, they're using their combinations of, you know, the medical technology and magic to basically repair what's going on as they're waning it off. They'll worry about their long-term damage and trying to repair that and get rid of some of the, like, more mental or, like, psychological connections to it after they've gotten rid of the physical.
Fair.
So it's sort of
Okay.
on, like, they're still on phase 1 kind of thing.
Okay, on phase 1.
Mm-hmm. But
okay.
but being successful right now. They're doing a good job with it.
Okay. I'll say as Docs is kind of looking and making sure she's okay. This is the first time you're ever going to see a look of empathy on Docs' face. Like he feels bad for her. You've never seen that before. This man feeling bad for someone. And he's gonna go over the paperwork for like the will and stuff that we got and how fucking weird that is. And he's gonna pour himself some coffee, which he doesn't typically drink, but he needs it right now.
Mm-hmm.
He'll offer one. He'll offer some to both of you as well.
She will gladly take it. 100%.
I'll take some.
Thanks.
So,
So,
what's your plan now?
Need to talk to Jessica to get some of the stipulations worked out.
we also, we're also going to need a way to make this old man not an old man.
Right.
Good question about that one.
So, I may have connections. I can look into items of less than legal standing that could help, but that can only go so far.
Well, in the meantime, we could inform her of, and maybe not. Well, we could at least get the proper paperwork to their lawyers.
I don't know if they're gonna agree to any of this, but I can send it.
Well,
You can try.
we could be vague about the stipulations until there are stipulations that are still being worked through, but here's kind of the exact things she'll be getting.
Suppose it could be a slow process, or we just continue to wait to see how our other choice is doing, and while I try and figure out a way to word this a little softer than old man once involved.
Fucking old man.
Yeah, a little softer than that. And I can look into any
Tried
artifacts.
The blunt approach tends to work well for me.
I don't quite understand this situation.
Well, you can take either approach. You can be very blunt about it. You can be very upfront about it. You could be.
I, as a player, think it's a terrible idea, but it's just for Sal.
Hey, bang this old man, and then you can have all of this stuff.
Seems like a reasonable trade.
Oh my god. Doc's just gonna try and sorry, I'm getting a buttery cracker. Doc's gonna try and get any like leads on something that can alter a person's form. Because while it is easy for him, apparently it's not easy for everyone else.
Cool.
There probably could be like things like disguise self. That's very easy, but that's disguise self.
That's an illusion.
Alter self. There probably could be like.
A potion alter self.
Yeah. I mean, certainly in the underground world, you could probably locate the existence of one, or some kind of like polymorph kind of thing. I think the discussion was that probably polymorphing would be better because then the person wouldn't have to concentrate on it while engaged in activities that may break concentration.
The problem is you can't turn them into a humanoid. It has
Only,
to be a beast.
yeah, only true.
You need true polymorph.
We need true polymorph.
Unless we could get a
Much
special
harder
variant of the spell.
Much harder to find.
Mm-hmm.
Which I guess you could, like, the purposes of, like, a granted item, or even just maybe the spells have advanced to a point where there's a
I could look into an item of some kind of polymorphing into a person. I can add that to the list to look for a potion of alter self, anything related to alter self that could be used on an individual.
I guess. Roll me investigation.
Investigation. Okay, I'm real good at these.
Yeah.
Okay. 21.
Alright. You look into things. A specific special polymorph spell that alters something into a person. You can find out that there's probably rumors of stuff like that, but nothing concrete. That kind of thing is like there's always rumors of like magics people are experimenting on and things like that. Potions of alter self. Those you could probably arrange to get one of. It does have the distinct disadvantage of the target has to maintain concentration, which is maybe, maybe.
Yeah.
The other source would be true polymorph. Unfortunately, there is a disadvantage of that, where there isn't that many very high-level spellcasters who could cast it. It is a 9th level spell. That's a big disadvantage. Though, there are rumors that you'll find out about an underground market where things of that level, of magic items of that level, sometimes pass through. And scrolls will be the most likely thing that will pass through that market.
a true polymorph scroll could be something.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And it's actually in all of your wheelhouses, as it is a underground auction that's based out of Waterdeep. Into Waterdeep. Now you can look into it and the kind of things that are there. You have underworld connections, and you can talk to some people to see what kind of items are going through it, and keep an eye out for something like that.
I probably would contact one of my definitely legal contacts
Totally
to
legal
maybe
contacts,
keep
yeah.
an eye on anything specific that does that kind of thing.
Okay. They'll keep their senses open on something like that. All right. Other than skipping forward in time, is there anything else any of you want to do, are you going to come to Jessica now?
I
Look,
think it would be better to wait until we have some kind of item that can change this old man into not an old man. Because
Okay.
we could just lie about who he is.
Mhm.
Kind of.
Yeah.
But Cell might be better if he's not a 100-something-year-old half-elf.
Yeah, definitely. All right. I guess a couple weeks will go by. The rehab's coming along. They've reached the next phase of it. They've effectively weaned Silesian off of Black Viper, but there's still a lot of damage they're repairing and trying to get her psychologically off of it. She's conscious now and not pleasant to be around. You know,
Understandable.
it's that the psychological needs are very deep, and it's sort of like extreme emotional swings. Her body is still relatively messed up. Yeah. So I mean, they're working through the next level of the process. Now you will get hints. There's rumors going around in the underworld that a collection of scrolls is coming up in the auction house. Now, they will be probably selling them individually, and there's supposed to be a number of scrolls of every level of spell going on.
Okay. Not concrete, but it's something.
Mm-hmm.
This is in Waterdeep, right?
Yes. It's not difficult to get there. It'll be a little bit of travel, but you know, at least a few days worth of travel, maybe like half a week's worth of travel. And it's an underground auction, so it's hard to say how much the stuff will go for. Too is the entire thing.
Mm-hmm.
How much money
Alright.
can we make sure we have?
Yeah, how much money does the cult have? Because Docs is kind of spent.
The cult has an okay amount of money, but probably not as much as you need. Probably, especially because it is a 9th level spell scroll.
Right.
It's probably going to go for a lot. If you look at your finances, I will say, like, Zirin, your imp will like inform you, he has doubts you'd have enough currently.
Well, would always plan to steal it.
That is a possibility.
But it's at an underground thing, right? Would be a little bit more difficult.
Yeah, it's on like
Pretty illegal.
it's illegal auction for that has big ticket items. They're gonna have probably fairly heavy security.
Oh, of course. I'm just saying that. I mean, the person who buys it might have less security.
That is true. That is a possibility, but you cannot guarantee that.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of
Just an
tough to be
idea.
like we are. I feel like the people who typically hear about these things are a little bit more experienced.
Yeah,
Would docs know?
probably. Yeah, Docs would probably know that, like, people who go to these kind of things are rich and do a lot of illegal things.
Mm-hmm. like the Mafia Dawn of the Elven Mafia might show up at one of these things. You know, a lot of power, a lot of money, and very dangerous to piss off.
Yep.
Just saying, it's an idea. We don't have to do it.
It's true.
Oh.
It's there is a
It is an
possibility.
idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I don't have much in the way of money left after putting her through this treatment.
Yeah. A lot of our eggs in that basket. I don't even know why you'd have eggs in a basket. They should be in a nest where they belong.
I believe they're in a basket. They're most likely going to eat.
A tired Dox looks at the camera. Yeah, so stealing it, possibility, very stupid. We do a lot of stupid things, though. Buying it, you have like a super rich cult member, I'm pretty sure.
You do have a super rich cult member.
I believe likes murdering husbands.
True.
Well, we already touched on her a little for the rehab bit. Is there anyone else we know? In fact, isn't there someone who's
There is.
into Thursday?
Yeah, I was going to say, there's that mafia that was in Thursday.
Yeah, but there's a difference between into someone and spending like
A lot of money on them.
Yeah.
Hey, spend like, I don't know, millions of dollars on me and I'll go on a date with you.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's also the succubus thingy that was also very into her.
Oh
But no
yeah,
one wants to
there
go near
totally
him.
is.
A lot of people are in the Thursday, huh?
Well, you know, Thursday made really great life choices.
I can certainly tell.
Idea.
was surely too scared of people to follow along.
We have a lot of these crazy cursed items. Perhaps we can make a trade.
The thing is, weren't we scared of letting other people have some of our crazy cursed items?
We already gave a chalice that steals souls to a devil.
This is not another person. Okay.
I mean, that very well could be an appropriate attitude for your group. At least it's only a devil and not another person. I mean, you know.
Just anyone who wants to buy a dagger that can make a god mortal.
That blood gem thingy of the word, the name that I can't pronounce.
No.
Mephistopheles or something like that.
Oh yeah, now you got that.
We do have that.
There's so much. So we got the lich skull.
We have the
What's
claws
the
of
lich? What's the
Oswald.
lich skull got to say about this? I'll pull him out of the bag.
What have you been doing with me this entire time? We should have been ravaging souls.
I'll take you back out when you're less grumpy.
He's never gonna be as I'd imagine that every so often Mishka takes it out to just sit with the other animals.
I am not your pet. Ah! Curses.
The platypus just sits on it.
Ah. This is embarrassing to all degrees. I would use to ravage the souls of everyone. But now,
Now you're a pillow.
apparently.
Oh my god. Oh, we have a lot of stuff.
We have a lot of stuff. There's the claws of Oswald. Did we get rid of the Mask of the Dealmaker yet?
We got rid of the mask of like the beast mask
Okay.
and the chalice.
I still have the Mask of the Dealmaker. Technically somewhere.
Yeah, because you also picked up some horrible Asmodean artifacts, too.
I do also have that bag of things.
We have a bag of weird
things.
things.
Well, worst case, we can just say we're getting these things shipped over in a sealed crate from what is that imp's name? My brain's blank.
Zirin.
Zirin. I was going to say Zirin, which was close, but I knew it wasn't right.
We can get those things over, but we don't know how.
Okay, I'm just saying we need it. We're just talking about like what we could do.
Yeah.
I think a trade is a good idea. I mean, we obviously want to. Actually, did we have any scrolls left over? We could just do a scroll for a scroll.
Oh, you got a 9th level scroll in your bag somewhere?
Used it.
I have a spell book of a high-ranking cult member.
You do.
Spellbook is more valuable than scrolls.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But the high-ranking member, I'm gonna have to say, did not have 9th level
Yeah,
spells.
I'm gonna imagine he wasn't a 9th level.
No, but
no
it's,
9th level spell slots.
But my point is that, like, you could, in theory, but still, it's still valuable, and perhaps we could trade it for. I mean, it's a collection of a number of spells, potentially some esoteric or old ones that aren't used anymore.
True.
Or aren't known anymore, or were lost. That could be very valuable.
I think it's just you have to think of the way that like there is definitely like another level for like anything. 7th, 8th, or 9th level spells are much harder to get nowadays, especially in any form. Because most of the time, those people that can get to that level are highly regulated and like known about, because they are effectively walking weapons of mass destruction.
Yeah, you don't want a guy walking around with like time stop, and you're not keeping an eye on him.
Yeah.
Or, you know, power word kill.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's why the majority of the time, sometimes those people can slip through the cracks. Sometimes people can reach that level and slip through the cracks. That happens. Especially if there is like a criminal organization, like the Elven Mafia. If they could get someone to be that level secretly, they might. It's not easy to, but they might try for that kind of thing. You know, try to get their own person. A lot of criminal organizations might. Then they can make some of these items, like powerful spell scrolls and stuff. So it isn't impossible to get new ones. It's just, most of the time, you can't. So, like, the spell book, yes, it might have some spells that they don't have. But I'm going to tell you, I think I was only going to have, like up to maybe 5th or 6th level spells in there. So it's still within the wheelhouse that it's probably not going to trade up quite as well as what you're looking for. It's not bad for some value towards it. I'm not going to say that.
Yeah. It could help us this plus some money, so it's an idea to keep in mind.
And you definitely have some things which you might be able to trade to the auction house for a price, but
I mean, what's the worst that could happen? Giving someone a dagger that could kill God.
You do have a gem that can summon Mephistopheles for a period of time.
What? I don't see that can't possibly go wrong.
Well, here's the thing about that one. It's generally only dangerous to the person who uses it.
I mean, I think it's generally dangerous.
And the area around them, and we don't plan to be here for that long.
But you don't know where the person with it would go, is the thing. Because you're trying to, you'd have to make the deal with the auction.
It's a big planet. What are the likelihoods that they're going to end up in California?
I'm giving you...
Do you understand what our luck is?
Also, I'm fairly certain
Uh,
a prince of hell could, like, affect a geographical region. Might include yours.
Again, it's a big planet. What are the chances of the geographical region being the one we're going to...
You don't know.
Very high chance.
I mean, I would probably not give you I would probably roll some dice. I will say that. So we be down to dice roll to determine how well that will go.
Yeah, that'll be fine.
Mm-hmm.
don't even know what half of these things in this bag of weird stuff do. Why do we have so many bags of weird stuff? We got 2 bags of weird
I
stuff
don't know,
now.
man. We got one in like a cave thing, right?
You've gotten one of these. I never defined what was in it, and I kept it random. And you just like, there's the stuff you got in the cult's old hangout. You robbed a ancient temple that you managed to either hit half the traps of and avoid the other half of the traps. That was just pretty much gold and gems and stuff like that. And then you got a collection of evil artifacts. Because yes.
A mafia bag with some maybe drugs in it?
I had a mafia bag with some maybe drugs in it.
Yeah.
I mean...
Ooh, so much weird stuff came in bags.
I mean, you could probably trade off the ruby rod of Orcus, just because, I mean, like, you're not going to use it, and whoever does is probably going to invite Orcus to show up and get it back from him. Or her.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we could sell that.
Mm-hmm. And you still have the Mantle of True Darkness, the Blood Gem, the Regalia of Undeath, the Flesh Binder. You know. They just sound so pleasant.
There's nothing wrong with any of these. I definitely feel like... definitely don't sell off the dagger. I feel like that's surprisingly safer in our hands.
Surprisingly. I will let you know one thing for anybody thinking about it. There is probably a few, in quotation, gods that Godslayer would work worse on. And I will list 2 of them that you might know about. Tiamat, because Tiamat is still a fucking giant dragon.
Yeah.
And Asmodeus, because Asmodeus is still an incredibly powerful devil.
Yep.
Yeah. So it's like anything that was something special before becoming a god, probably not great on it.
Yeah, really bad idea.
Yeah. I just trying to fucking use the freaking dagger on Tiamat. Tiamat will still nuke you. She's still...
They're just gonna step on you.
Yeah, she's still a horrible dragon monster. It's like, oh, my divine powers are gone.
Oh
well.
A dragon.
I'm still a dragon.
Yeah, we could maybe sell off some of these totally not cursed items.
Mm-hmm.
We have like a bag that has like what 1,000 platinum in it or something.
Mm-hmm.
That'll probably sell for something.
A good amount. And you could talk to Robin, technically. She just might need convincing. Because honestly, it's probably a lot more money than she's investing in the cult.
Yeah. What the hell is barrel treasure?
That was the treasure they stole from, like, ancient temple in Chult.
Alright.
I never defined what was in barrel treasure.
Treasure.
Look, at a point in time, I was going to put what was in barrel treasure, but then they just said, like, they used barrel treasure a few times, and I was like, whatever, use barrel treasure. So, it's just become a thing they have. Well, I think that's how you transported it. It's like, they were looking for gas because they had, like, damage to their vessel that they were on, like, a riverboat. And so they stopped by an ancient temple to see if there were any, like, societies living in that area. They didn't find any, but instead they found treasure, and so they threw it in a barrel and brought it back.
Nice. Nice.
Mm-hmm. And a bunch of gnomes got killed, but that's besides it.
Who cares? They're gnomes. Man, yeah. I guess, yeah, you guys can... I don't know who Robin... Doc doesn't know who Robin is, so... It's on you guys.
Well, at this point, you probably met her.
You at least met her on her boat.
Oh, is she the boat one?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Because she's filthy, stinking rich.
have.
Mm-hmm. She's like a billionaire, in modern terms.
Try her.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we could also like. We could try her. We could sell some of these evil items. I mean, who cares if they're out in the world at this point? I feel like someone attuning to an evil sword is already bad enough. Why not just let more out, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I guess we'll talk to Robin for money.
Okay. I'm gonna have to tell you. If you chat with Robin about level of investment, she will want a meeting to discuss it because it is a huge investment.
Fair. That's completely fair. I don't know where Robin is.
Calenport.
Oh,
She's in Calenport.
Hey, we could go back across the ocean again.
You're getting your frequent traveling miles.
Get a free boat ride out of this one day.
All right. You can easily get back to Calenport, and arrange for a meeting with Robin. Robin will actually be in Center City, in like a tall building that she apparently ended up with majority ownership of after one of her last husbands. And you'll be invited up to the penthouse where she's currently at. It's one of the many places she stays at, and she's currently been in the city for business reasons. You'll be greeted by like a very like large, handsome, muscular-toned man who's dressed as a butler.
Nice.
Yeah. Hello.
Oh. We're here to see Robin.
Ah, yes. You were expected. Come with me.
Okay.
Ma'am, your guests are here. Oh. Excellent. Please, have a seat.
Alright, Lawful. Is the butler named?
No. It's Gregor. Oh, Gregor!
Is it a Crushington?
He could be a Crushington. But he's certainly, as Fish would describe him on Thursday, he's certainly matching with the blacksmith that I had in my game. That's on Thursdays. He's a himbo.
Nice.
Oh, butler!
Everyone loves a good himbo.
Uh-huh. Oh, butlering! Ugh. I butler so well. Anyway, God.
I love it. Okay.
There'll be some seats you can all take. She seems to be kind of like at a desk working then. You've probably not seen her dressed in like a very simple like business suit. She just seems to be kind of like dressed kind of formally, is doing some paperwork, kind of her hair up. Normally she's got like her hair down, she's relaxing in very loose tresses that basically hide nothing, and drinking a lot and just hanging out with sexy men that she hires to hang out with her constantly.
Fox can appreciate it.
Mm-hmm. She has a lot of money and uses it to have a man harem.
Fair.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Well, between this and the yacht, you certainly keep nice employment.
Always. Now, down to business. You said you had an incredibly large amount of spending to do, and I wish to discuss some things, if we are going to have some kind of arrangement. Approximately how much do you think it is?
Do we know an approximation of how much it might be?
Oh boy, I would have to look up how much a 9th level scroll
Derek,
was.
expensive.
in Xanathar's.
They're expensive. I'm totally not grabbing my Xanathar book.
Yeah.
Definitely not.
You're probably going to beat me to it.
Shamelessly.
I think they're in crafting. No, they're cheaper in crafting.
I thought, yeah, that was,
Perusing or shopping or whatever.
That's magic item crafting.
I forget where they have the prices in this book. Awarding magic items.
It's like perusing for magic items.
Perusing for magic
It's just a
items.
downtime for shopping.
There's buying a magic item. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, that's where it is. Oh boy, that's a lot.
It is legendary.
Yep, it's 2d6 times a lot of gold. Times 25,000 GP.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's half for consumables, so it would be half of the.
So, and it was a lot of, I would estimate probably at least would be like 10 million of the Kalimport rupees, did I say? Or lira?
Lira is Kalimport, yeah.
Okay, lira. At least 10 million lira.
Yep, sounds about right. Well, that will be mentioned.
She's definitely going to raise an eyebrow at that one, but then continue her kind of... Because she's working on some paperwork, continue her paperwork. She's like, interesting. What's your final goal in this entire thing?
So she's never been informed of, like, anything of our goal?
A little bit of it.
She's definitely one of our higher up members, but even then we've kept some of the... We basically kept the... we are summoning a god to the mortal plane a secret, but we've basically been like, yeah, we're hunting for these artifacts of Asmodeus to further the cult.
Right,
Yeah.
so Nox is going to, kind of like... take a deep breath. Well... something along the lines of summoning Asmodeus to this realm.
She's gonna put her, like, she's gonna pause, stop writing, put like the pen she's writing down, and then like how are you going to go about that?
That'll be explained as well. Maybe leaving out the old man part for now.
Okay.
Well, that's actually the whole point of the scroll.
Yeah, but we'll make it weird. If you want to say it, go for it.
Well,
if
she's going to
Selby-
acquire then,
Which
and
one?
what item are you trying to acquire as part of this? Is it another
Alright.
artifact?
Scroll of true polymorph, potentially.
Why would you need that?
Alright, this is where it gets weird. I got dragged into this so long ago. He reaches into his pocket and takes a swig from a flask and explains the old man.
She's gonna like think for like a few minutes and then respond. It does seem that you're in a particularly difficult situation. You need someone of the original deal. Yes, as you've explained it to me.
Yes.
And you have two people. Regardless, though, in order to convince either of them, you've gone about this route of an inheritance, and therefore power that way.
It is certainly a predicament. One I wasn't expecting, but here we are.
Do you have access to a deal maker?
Dealmaker as in Fiend, I
Yes.
assume. I think we do.
You
Kind of.
You kinda do, maybe?
Well, we do have the, technically, the awareness that we summoned with the talisman or whatever is could technically count. Also, we do have the people in the basement with the army, but then again, she probably knows about them, so that's probably not up to her standards.
None of those would be deal-making devils. You've really only technically met 2.
And one of them, I'm guessing, is the guy in Australia.
Yeah.
No.
No, he's not.
No.
Who's the guy who gave us our new deal?
Fastidious.
We have a way of technically contacting him.
The other one that you do know exists is Zirin.
Oh shit, Zirin can do that?
Zirin might not be able to make the deal she wants, but Zirin is a deal maker.
Zirin is technically the voice of Asmodeus. He's like oddly high up for an imp.
Well,
he is probably one of the highest ranking imps there is.
Damn. So we do have access to one, yeah. In this city.
Can you summon them?
Yeah, give me a minute, I'll call them up. Yeah, give me a minute. I put my finger up, yeah, 1 second, pull the phone.
Uh-huh.
Like, Slay, hey, we need you here.
What's up?
Yeah, so we kind of need you here. Someone's asking about a deal maker. Robin, specifically.
Alright, give me a minute and I'll show up over there. It's like, and you'll hear him like, look, Legend Maker, I'm gonna have to come back and we're gonna join you later on. We'll have to do this raid later. Don't worry about it. It's business, it's work. You know how it comes up is sometimes you gotta do work. My investment portfolio is going pretty well, but I gotta take this. I gotta get out of the house and take care of this. You know how it is, banking stuff and things like that. Oh, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Oh no, the marriage is still on for later on this week. Don't worry about it. Okay.
He'll be here in a minute.
Mm-hmm. Man, I love that sweet new pants I got.
In his mom's basement.
He's just in your kitchen on top of your fridge with a laptop playing. He was on first-person shooters. Apparently, he starts some MMOs now.
Oh, he's playing Final Fantasy now. He's getting married.
Uh-huh.
Amazing.
Alright, Zirin will show up in his finest imp business suit. Because you did get him those.
No.
Uh-huh. Madam, what can I do for you? Are you a proper deal maker for Asmodeus? Possibly. I can contact the higher-ups if there's someone that you need to talk about this at all. I mean, if you're looking for a direct deal, we can negotiate things now, discuss it, and I can call proper higher-ups if you need something a little bit more powerful. What are you looking for? At first I joined your group mainly because I was part of the small coalition who'd found each other. By chance. All of us had similar likes, if you would. I'm sure all of you are aware of our generalized needs. Well, each of us had found ourselves in positions where we were able to avoid authorities and find ourselves in good shape. But there are some things that have been working on my mind since then, especially after joining your little get-together, as interesting as it is. I would wish for 2 things for this investment. I would pay all the money you need to finish up your little escapades, but I would demand 2 things in return. 1, immortality. I am human, after all, and I'm sure immortality is an easy bit. Zirin's gonna kind of like think for a second and be like, you know, it's not as easy to arrange as you'd think. Keeping you in your human form might be a little difficult. We might be able to arrange something. Like, Well, Mistress Theresy ended up being erroneous with the deal that we made with her. I don't know if that's the kind of thing you want, but we could do that. I mean, there are some other things to arrange, but cosmetically we could keep you the same, probably. We could discuss the details, but it's not impossible. Excellent. There's one more thing that I would want. Time to be immortal, and be part of your little group, and possibly be the funding for it now. As obviously you've been trying your best to keep up the fundings, but watching your little groups and its investments, they've been quaint. Merely dealing with millions instead of billions of dollars. I would wish for, I think, a position of power. One where I could still do what I do, but I would have respect. Zion's gonna kind of raise, like, his effective, like, eyebrow, which is kind of more like an eye ridge on an imp because they're hairless, you know, and be like, what you getting at, lady? Well, not to be quaint, but you already are dealing with much weirder situations at hand, so perhaps in approximately 20 years, we can arrange for a wedding. Queen of the Damned does sound like a nice title. Zion's gonna really give like a quizzical look there.
Oh my god.
I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. Two of you might be made for each other. You're both philanderers. And you can't stick to one person. You know how many times I had to escort nice devil ladies out of the throne room before I got this cushy job on the mortal plane? Uh-huh, yes, he'll call you back. No, no, no. You mean everything to him. Oh, God. Sorry about that. Oh, getting a headache. I keep forgetting he hears me all the time. Oh. Ah. Yeah. I could send it up the chain. I don't know. It would have to be considered, the contract. But, I think on our end, I would wish for us to have full access to all of your fundings as needed possibly to enact said ritual and arrange this thing. And probably arrange for a physical education on our Lord Incarnate before the arrangements can be made. What do you folks think? You're the ones enacting this ritual.
Well, I'm not sure why you're asking me. I just kill people for money. But I'm starting to dealing with a lot of weirder things right now. So what's one more weird thing to add to the pile?
I mean, as far as it goes, an arranged marriage with an incarnation of our devil lord once he's grown up, it's not too bad.
Yeah, I have no issue with that.
All right. I'll go contact my people, have them figure out. We can lawyer this up and figure out the deal possibly. Great. I'm gonna go back and rearrange my guild hall. Need me for anything else?
Not right now. I'll call you if I need anything else.
Yeah, I'll get the contract through them. I'll have your people look at it. Our people will make sure it's written up well. We'll sign it in blood, call it a day. You know the usual. Great. Oh. Things just get weird around here all the time. Alright. Are you gonna do anything else while you're in Calumport?
Probably not. I don't know if I have anything I need to do here.
I mean, I'll check and see how the army's doing.
Yes, I'll make sure.
Whoa!
I'll call
Doing
in
good, Bob.
and check up on Lei and her date lover. Are they married yet? I don't know what's happened with them. I'll ask them how they're doing. We haven't talked in a while.
We're doing quite well, thank you. It's been up and down, but you know.
Oh, that's
It's so interesting, some of the things that they've developed these days. We were looking into certain things, which I'm not going to talk about now, just because of, you know, we'll see how things go. But it was interesting to find out that there's like interesting intersections between magic and the science that's been developed in so many strange, interesting ways. Granted, not as much magic around, but when it's used, it seems to be used very smartly.
interesting.
And your medical technology, medical magical technology has certainly developed greatly.
This is a odd question, but you think you could help me deal with something once this whole ritual is dealt with? It's a bit of a problem I've developed. A talking magical sword kind of problem.
That does seem like an issue. Talking magical sword. What kind of things does it tell you?
Well, it tells me to... Oh god, I have to look what it actually tells me because I wrote it down. A lot of wanting to kill things. It's given me some new and interesting powers. It wants me to head to whatever place it wants me to head and to do something there. And it refuses to tell me what I'm supposed to do there.
That does seem strange. I can look around to see if I can figure something out for it. Maybe I can talk to, God, I'm trying to, like, look up stuff on my notes, which I had to, like, break out here. The good old notes, which are so,
organized? I know that feeling.
What sort of, I mean, they're sort of organized. These old notes. Anyway. I can talk to Carrera. She might have some kind of tricks on that.
Yeah, at first I kind of liked it, but it's a little too murder happy and not in the, the devil kind of way where, it's not kill everyone, it's kill certain people. This thing just kind of wants to kill everyone it sees.
Well, if you want to wait around, she does have some unique tricks which might be able to work on it.
Yeah. Sure, why not? We're waiting around for a contract to be finished anyways.
Alright, it'll probably be a couple hours of hanging out and watching TV in their apartment before Carrera will come home. It's like, honey, I am home! I have, of course, taken the leave of absence at my work for this time period. I found it necessary to complain, but I broke a few noses beforehand.
I love her.
Are you ready for the trip to the doctors? We will plan this out! I have also talked to those folks at the realtors! Ah! I will punch the crap out of them if need be. Honey, we have guests. Hello!
She's starting to grow on me.
sorry that I was involving you in our personal matters. What is it that you need?
And the sword thing will be explained, probably to some pain to Doc, because I imagine this sword's not going to be happy about it.
I can attempt one thing here, and we can see if it would work. It was a gift to me. I have to see what where is my 5th edition book? It's over there. Q. I have to check something. It's the age-old, you gotta figure out and remember what something's called and look it up. Which happens
Happens to me a lot on Fridays, though.
Huh. I don't know if they have an equivalent of that. There we go. No, they don't really have something. I'm gonna check something, then so just roll a d20 and we'll just go for the roll a d20 and see how that works.
Good old d20.
Those did what? Oh, 9. 9's okay. She'll like give off a chant like, I call upon the powers of Asmodeus, all that is dark and hellish, that the flames of the 5th burn forth and crush all that would obstruct our people. The black flames engulf you, and Asmodeus' wrath destroy those that would have to mess with our some rather. I'm brain farting a hell out of this entire thing. Man, it's just like trying to figure out the good words for it. Anyway,
I think that's her just like stopping caring halfway through.
Yeah. Anyway, sure. She's going to take the sword away from you, find like a cardboard box, chuck it in there, and close it up. And then give it back to you.
Fair.
Do not open this.
Yeah, fair.
Nice.
You should be fine for now. But be
Fair
warned, I can only use that occasionally. It is a rarity in my abilities. It was a gift, Asmodeus, for my service, though now I find myself retired. But in service to your cult when needed. Is the time needed that I must be in service? Or is my retirement continue?
You're good to continue your retirement.
Then we will settle down in a small house with a picket fence, since the TV has said that is a great place to settle down into. I will impale the heads of my enemies upon the pickets to properly display the wonderful way that our family will live in. Ah! Yes, dear.
Well, you two have clearly things to talk about, so if you ever want to chat, just call me up and...
Oh, sure. And
I'll see you.
We get some good news, I'll let you know.
Yeah. See.
Alright. So... Anybody else doing anything else in Calmport? I think we can take our break here technically. We'll see if we take a second one, because we're a little later than that took a little longer than I thought. So, But yeah, well, let me take a break here, and then we'll figure out what's happening next after that, as deals and lawyers go through, and you work out some details. So if you need a drink, snack, or break, go ahead and do those. I'm back in a little bit to continue the adventures. Why not? Why not? Alright, hey, we're back. As I'm catching Swablu, which is a Pokemon, Swablu. Whatever. I pronounced his name when I saw it.
Nice.
Oh, God. I pronounce things so badly anyway. Just no. Just no. Uh-huh. Just no. So yeah. We're returned, and you're making deals. The current contract can go through. I'm not going to have any complications with it. If I'll give you the option. Do you want to try something else, or do you want to go through this?
Let's go through this one.
This thing has kind of like end game implications that probably won't affect the overall current game as it's going. It'll affect aftermath kind of things. So if you go for it, great. It's fine.
Yeah, Doc is more than happy to go with this route. Gets him out of this weird situation faster.
Mm-hmm. Alright. So you have your funding. You can go to the auction if you want.
Yeah, probably head to the auction.
Alright, you'll head to the auction at Waterdeep at the allotted time. It'll probably be by now, just with the timing you were given, it'll probably be in a few days. So it's not too difficult to get up there and stay, preparing for the underground auction. You can use your connections, certainly with the Elven Mafia and with the underground, to get a pass to it. It's another event where you're all gonna have to dress really nicely for, because it's a lot of rich upscale people auctioning off. You'll get your auction paddle and you'll be arriving.
Okay.
The event is at like a kind of interesting theater. So it's like an underground theater that's like a big circular theater with like this really nice seating all around like a central stage. And what they do is from like an elevator from underneath the stage, they will bring up the items and then put them on display in the center of it, as an announcer is kind of there. The sort of items that go up here, rare magical creatures, rare beings who are being sold away, magic items, all kinds of stuff, all very illegal.
Makes sense.
From basically effectively from stolen objects, drugs, slavery, poaching, you name it, there's some kind of item that's high scale or related to it, and none of it is pleasant. As people that are probably more on the lawful evil side, it's certainly kind of outside of your wheelhouse, as this is just not the normal kind of thing you'd probably go to. Mm-hmm. Doc says, as the person with the least amount of morals of the group, this is nothing different.
Yeah.
But certainly there is plenty to be unusual here. Plenty of things that, there's probably plenty of really dark implications about a lot of stuff going on here. But eventually, they'll start moving on to the scroll lots, where they will actually be selling them in, at first, groups of scrolls. They'll list off, a group of level 1 scrolls, level 2, kind of go through all of them. And then when they start getting to level 7, they'll start selling them individually. And they'll go through each. And eventually, though, they will get to a scroll of true polymorph up for bids. They will be starting the bids at 1 million lira.
Okay. I'm gonna bid until I get it.
Okay. Okay, I'm gonna roll something here. and figure it out. Let's just slash roll. We'll just do renames. Ooh.
Oh, that's a lot.
It'll end up costing you 27 million lira.
Oh.
There were some other people that really, really wanted it.
Yep. Oh boy.
Uh-huh. I was basically taking that 10 million I said as a base and rolling 3d6 to add.
Oh.
So,
Damn.
you have the money, but you certainly went into huge debt with Robin then. And so it's like her deal is all the sweeter the more you spend, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. It is a hell of a time, but you'll manage to win it. And there will certainly be some very dirty looks from certain members of the crowd. Probably people that are really jealous of that and maybe interested in that.
I ain't getting it.
I don't know, maybe some people that have similar ideas to someone else at your party, you know?
Yeah?
Uh-huh. Alright, so now you have a scroll of true polymorph. Congratulations. You've managed it.
We did it.
What's the plan now?
Oh boy.
Back to New Waterdeep?
Did we get the contract and stuff over to Jessica's stuff? Like for that thing?
We were waiting until we had this item because it'll be easier to convince someone with this rather than, like, I don't know, the person who's technically owes us someone who technically owes us their life at this point now.
So I guess we can start putting that in.
Yes,
Yeah.
right now you could effectively, you could true polymorph the old man into a form which, for 1 hour, he will effectively be in a young body. And then during that time, I guess the idea is to use the eye to have Asmodeus possess him, do the deed, his soul will be destroyed. At the end of that hour, Asmodeus leaves the body, and the body crumples into a soulless old man who will technically be alive, but have no soul, so I mean...
Yeah, he agreed to it.
His essence will have been destroyed. So he'll effectively exist. Yeah. You got the plans for it. You got the materials for it.
Yeah.
Certainly rehab is getting close to being done. And you could go to Jessica. Who do you want to go to? This is another option I can give right now.
We'll have to talk that one over.
Mm-hmm. Because rehab for the one is almost over. You could talk to her about it, but again, has her own issues that you haven't even addressed. You're getting through the drug issues, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Or you have Jessica, who you've already worked with. Again, both are fine options. Both have things that I know if you go for them, how it's going to end up.
Yep. Which do you two think would be the better option?
I think at this point, we put a lot more into the Jessica one, and it might be a better idea.
Alright.
All agree with it.
She is healthy.
She is technically healthier, this is true.
Mm.
So it might be the safer option to go with Jessica until we know for sure if anything.
Yeah. I agree, and I have some ideas what we could do with our other friend. Perhaps she'll need a job, and, well, I'm old and I can start training someone to do what I do. A few deals here and there, can get things done.
You found Assassin Jr.
Yeah, I'm gonna train this lady. Take my plate. I'm gonna fuck off and never speak to anyone again. Go die somewhere.
Alright, sure. You're going to return to, Jessica.
Mm-hmm.
You can meet again, similar place with her lawyer and stuff, and the lawyer will be like, hello. Hello again. I see that have you managed to, arrange everything? And of course, this is Martin, I think this is Martin Fitzgibbons, you say?
I think that was who it was.
Or was this Ronald Styland? I can't remember.
No, Ronald Styland's the old man.
Okay. Fitzgibbons, and
yeah,
Blanderscat? Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that one.
I really love it. Fitzgibbons, and Blanderscat. So yeah. What kind of, so, you've ironed out stuff on your side.
Mm-hmm.
I believe, what details do you bring back to us? You wouldn't have called for this meeting if you didn't have more details to iron out, I assume, on your side.
I will give...
Okay. What details are you given?
Oh boy. I'm not gonna mention that because technically it's not the old man.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna mention it's the old man. I'm gonna mention there's a specific person required for this to be done. And it's gonna be our guy, whoever we polymorph him into.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna, once that's done, you know, have a child, and she doesn't technically have to raise the child.
It could, you know, we could. Okay, hold on. I would probably say, you know, what we could say is it's to keep elven blood. His goal is to keep elven blood in the family line.
Yeah. And there's that can be mentioned, and then obviously the stuff you have to have a child, and stuff like that.
She'll talk with the lawyer for a moment, kind of whispering, and the lawyer will be like, does it have to be physically done with the person, or could it be artificially inseminated?
Oh, God. I guess there's no issue with it. Did Styling specifically say physical? I don't remember what he said.
I think Asmodeus needs physical, because Asmodeus will temporarily exist as a spiritual being, which may possess a form for a period of time, using the powers of the artifact in order to have a child with a woman. It's like... You haven't really gotten to the spiritual side of things with her, so it's kind of hard to, like, use that.
Yeah, well, it'll have to be physical. Which is a hard sell.
Yes. Why don't you roll me a persuasion check?
Okay.
I'm just gonna see how you roll, and we'll just play it off at that point in time.
Persuasion.
Because it is a hard sell.
Click that button. We'll click this button, and oh boy, it's 16. That's not great.
It's not bad though.
It's not bad, but yeah, I was with a 7. I have a really good persuasion score.
Yeah. I mean, was there someone there possibly assisting you on this? Cough, cough.
I don't know, was there?
I don't know if anybody else did.
I assume Purcell was there, maybe.
Yeah.
Probably everyone was there.
Yeah, go ahead and roll again. We'll just say that you'd have advantage. We'll see if you roll better.
Okay.
Alright, 20. Okay.
30, 20.
Nice.
Alright. You know, like, your two assistants chime in with some details that, like, correct some things here and there. And eventually, Jessica will go, is it at least hot?
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm, yeah, I will say yeah. He's quite good looker.
In fact, part of my assistance might just be, oh yes, sorry, this elven group is against artificial insemination.
They're, and the one they've selected is very attractive because we just make him into anything.
Yes, you can make him look very attractive.
Yeah.
Yeah. He better be if I go along with this. This sounds like a lot of work, but I mean, what's just another guy, and man, getting away from the family finally. Grandfather's been on my case. A bitch. Alright, so give him a contract. I'll go along with it. Me, a mother. Gotta get the best nannies in the land. I'll have enough money for it at least, finally. Get the little sucker as soon as it's born.
Okay, and contract signed.
Mm-hmm. Alright. You can get Jessica. She's on board.
Hey, we've done it.
You've done it. Now everything's set in place. At least, part of it is. So what's the plan? Previously you had a ritual site in Calimport. It's destroyed.
Yes. How important is the site?
It was a controlled environment kind of thing. Like right now, theoretically you're going to have to do it at a good old man's mansion. Because he doesn't travel very well. He could travel, but not well. You know, he traveled for the wedding, so you could definitely get him somewhere else if you need to. But it was a controlled site that was under Asmodean control, and had the influence of devils and stuff. And at the time, had a cadre of devils protecting it, just in case. You probably want demonic intervention at this point in time, just in case, because you never know what might interfere. You do have an army of devils, but the problem is you probably also don't want to freak out a woman.
Yeah.
She's agreed to, like, everything here, except for the demonic influence part you really haven't informed her about.
True.
The old man would be fine with it. He knows what's going to happen. You've involved him completely.
Yeah, well, Oh boy.
Yes.
Well, I mean, some can just kind of like hide as people. And some are probably decent at just, staying hidden. So, like...
So, well, definitely, basically, what we can do is we can basically hide... We can bring the army up to the old man's mansion, hide it nearby, and have just sentries.
That's not easily done.
I feel like moving
it's
an
not.
army.
Yeah, no,
gonna
you're
be
right.
very hard.
Okay, what we can do is basically have a double security force that is on the perimeter.
I mean...
Easier.
Easier.
We do have an Aranus who's presumably good at fighting things.
You
Do we have
technically do.
Actually, we kind of do. Do we have any? Oh, maybe. Do we have any way of transporting the army in an instant if needed?
Traditionally, I'm not 100% sure on 5th edition because I haven't checked. I thought that Devil still had teleportation.
I think some might.
Some might. And so, like, with teleportation, you theoretically could get a distance if they knew about it, is the problem.
I'm just thinking, is there some way we can create a teleportation circle?
Yeah, like, I think they got rid of most of the teleportation in the Devils.
Yeah, there's only like... Yeah.
So, I don't know. Maybe.
That'd be a whole nother scroll which we don't have.
It's a lot. It's a very difficult issue transporting it that way.
Yeah.
Oh, and Lay is going to send you a text message saying the procedures were successful, with exclamation points.
Congrats. Congratulations. Can I know what procedures, or is it just procedures?
She'll say, we're going to have a party once you're back.
Okay, docs can wait. We won't press anything. We'll just say congratulations. Oh. Okay. So now... Transporting a whole army over here is going to bring a whole host of problems.
Yeah, see, the problem I think I'm worried about is basically we've been told so far that devils are now massing, but so are demons and angels.
Yup.
This is the kind of thing
And
they
so
might
if we
interfere
try and
on.
do this,
Yes.
they will come.
This is definitely a point that interference may occur. That is certainly, like, they may have been waiting for an opportunity like this where they can actually interfere, you know?
God.
So I want to have a force available. Can we bring the old man down?
Theoretically, yes. He's not in great shape, but you could transport him.
I mean, he did travel like halfway across there already once.
Yeah.
Well, if we can bring him down here, down to Calimport, we do have a special site that is underground that we can get to with an army there.
Convincing the lady to be good with that.
That's another problem, right?
Yeah,
Just remembered that part.
yup. Illusion magic only goes so far.
Also, more than likely, this woman does not think that she needs that she'll have an audience kind of thing too. So you're going to have to arrange something private, but could be interfered with, kind of thing.
Oh, I mean, like, just get a motel and have some demons outside.
No, she would not be cool with that,
Yeah.
probably.
You technically know where there's a motel. That's the one everybody stayed at first. It's the one.
Yeah.
It's really, that's not that far from the army.
Cheap motel, you know?
Mm-hmm.
True.
But,
Might not be happy about that one. No, I'm gonna say on that one. You know.
Yeah, so that's an issue.
Yes.
Man,
This is your final issue. Where are you gonna do it?
a fancy hotel. It's still
Okay.
in, like, Calimport.
All right.
Which is still near-ish to the army. Like, we could probably bring a few of them up and out. Not, like, in the building, but, like, around the building, watching for shit.
Mm-hmm.
Stuff like that. And then the rest of the army just straight up on standby. However, that does come with another issue of if people interfere, there's just going to be a big old battle between potentially a couple armies in Calimport.
It's going to be a battle between a couple armies in
Yeah,
Calimport.
it's gonna not be great.
Mm-hmm.
Jokingly, we could just do it in Neverwinter, because Neverwinter gets destroyed every so 100 years or some shit according to the game. So, just what's one more destruction of Neverwinter?
They've been
right?
pretty good the last 500 years, thank you.
What's one thing they're due for it?
They broke their tradition-ish.
They're due for it.
It's like a volcano going off, and they're overdue for it.
They're overdue for a citywide.
it's like the earthquakes in California. We're due for a big one.
Oh. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's. Oh god, how are we gonna transport armies somewhere? I mean, technically, transport them by boat.
You could go for something like a private island. That's certainly sure.
Yeah, I mean, there's probably plenty of islands. Plenty of islands.
There are a lot of islands. Whether or not they're private, that's a good question.
You know, I mean, it doesn't have to be private, it just has to have a private area there.
That's true. I mean, it's like the Callum Desert is very private, where the army is. There's not a lot there. But the problem is, for that one, there's not a lot there.
It's a desert.
It's a desert. There are a couple of highways that go across it, and a couple of settlements along those highways, and and then basically the coastline, and the rest is just empty space in the Calamsham area.
Yeah. Alright. This is a problem I'm not sure to solve.
There are a couple options I can think of. You've been dancing around a few of them that might work. Up to you if you want to commit to one of them.
Yeah, what do you y'all think?
I think basically doing somewhere. Let's see. Does
Okay, I'll let you finish your question.
I was gonna say, does Rich Lady have a desert oasis home?
No.
Didn't think so.
Does she have a private island?
Technically not.
Damn.
She probably has some investments in a few islands. That's about it. A desert oasis home, no. She probably has a place along the coastline, but unfortunately it's an area that is still... Because the coastline
Probably
has a lot of
populated.
settlements. Yeah.
She does have a yacht.
She does have a yacht.
We could have that yacht parked up somewhere.
You could. You could do it on the yacht.
Do it on the yacht and have the army nearby that we can then park the boat if need be nearby. So it's like we don't make it out to be we make it out to just be a time on the boat, but if need be we can park it and have an army come if necessary.
The boat still might be a thing to convince the Jessica to get on. I'm gonna say that because that's still a little weird to do it on a yacht. Not.
We could say it's his yacht and that's...
You could.
It might be easier if we can consider that there's a big party also going on.
Maybe.
Or maybe we could have...
and getting drunk and stuff.
It is a huge boat, not that strange, no.
How much ritualness is involved in the actual process as well?
Actually, quite a little bit.
So we're gonna have to be doing this ritual.
The ritual you can set up not necessarily way ahead of time, but enough ahead of time. Basically, you have to, use the cult and channel the energy of worship into the eye to empower it and awaken the eye, which is what you were in the process of technically doing when things got attacked, which does take a few hours to do. Zirin can inform you of the entire thing, and technically speaking, there are probably a few ways to speed things up, but it's sort of like a necessary thing of like, the eye itself, as powerful an artifact it is, it still doesn't necessarily have the ability to summon Asmodeus directly normally, because summoning a very powerful being takes a lot. That's why it kind of draws upon the power of a group of worshippers and such over a period of time to amass energy. Once that energy is amassed, it can use it for something very powerful. The summoning of Asmodeus, at least in a spiritual form, is one of the main ways that it can be used. Theoretically, there's a few other ways that it can be used, one of which was used on your group at that time. Basically sending people forward in time, kind of putting them as suspended in a micro dimension, which he'll describe it that you were technically not set forward in time. What you were doing is you were put into you were effectively kind of like a maze spell or like an imprisonment spell, except with like a time release. You know, it was made to imprison you or maze you for a period of time, and you weren't aware that you were imprisoned during that time period, and then you came out. You were suspended.
You were Ocarina of Time.
Yeah. You were Ocarina of Time. You were suspended out of time for a while, and then came back. But it used a lot of that energy. It had just enough later on to then grab Docs to be like, I don't know if these 3 will be enough. I think we can grab 1 more with that. So agents did that before the eye was then lost to history. So yeah, that you can kind of do separately, but you will need your cult to do that. And the charge, it'll have to be pretty much within a few hours of that. That's not too difficult to arrange, you know, wherever you're doing it. Your cult's kind of out of Kalimport, but they're more movable. They're normal people. You could pretend to have a convention anywhere, and it's really a cult meeting to empower an artifact, you know?
That's actually a... Okay, so what if we set up a convention at a hotel where we have our followers for the empowerment, and then we have demons, and we just say they're cosplayers, and we just say, oh yeah, this is going on at the same time as we brought you to this fancy hotel. Completely unrelated, we'll just do this separate.
I don't know if she's gonna appreciate us bringing her to a hotel that has a convention, and also, I don't think we have the resources to set up a fake convention.
You do. Remember, you've rich lady.
Yeah,
Rich
she
lady,
gave us unlimited access for
I
fun.
guess so.
You got, like... effectively, you have to think about it this way. You probably had, like, 100 million to spend that she could probably easily throw at you at that time. Remember, she's a billionaire. And it did...
Actually,
it did take her a little while to apply, like, the 27 million you spent. It wouldn't take her too long over a couple of days to get, you know, more millions. You do have the funds to do that. You could... medium-sized devils could certainly show up. Maybe a few large-sized ones, because there are some large-sized humanoid species, but, like... yeah, I mean, I don't know. If you want to go the convention route, it, unfortunately, still be...
You could actually set up a legitimate devil convention and have actual devils there.
There are still
and actually make money off of it.
The thing is, there are still actual devils that exist. Remember I said there were a portion of outsiders that got trapped when the border said, and they just settled in.
Yeah.
You could have that. And an upscale hotel, sometimes they do have conventions connected to them. There are some pretty, like, really nice places that do have them. You'd have to find the right one. I mean, if you want to explore this, it's possible. I'm not going to throw it out the window.
Because that could be a way to get a bunch of devils around and also get...
DevilCon? You're gonna do it in, like... You probably want to have time for this one to at least set it up to make it look real. I mean, I'm going to be honest on that one. So, the thing is...
Oh, of course. Like, I think we should set it up legitimately and have sell tickets and have outsiders as well as outsiders.
How do we make sure that the devils we don't want to be in
broken Ted.
I really love this, but it's also, like, the most ridiculous thing I've heard in a while.
This is what D&D is. You put a problem with probably a very simple solution, and we make the most convoluted shit.
I kind of like this one better than the way I was going with. I'm gonna be honest. I had a few ideas of solutions and like I was letting you explore just in case, but I'm like, man, this one is so much sillier.
I mean, that's the thing. There can be a convention on like the ground floor, and then there can be an upper office where we can handle the meetings, and for her, it can be in the same area at the same time.
I'm dead.
So, DevilCon, apparently.
Nope. If we want to do it, we could not, but...
I mean... I'm gonna ask the question. Do you have any other ideas? Do any of you have any other ideas? There have been a few ideas that have floated around. Which one do you want to go for?
I mean, the boat idea is actually not terrible. Because you could... But the problem with the boat idea is time. The spell's only going to last an hour.
There is a time constraint that when you do everything, it's going to have to be quite rapid.
Yeah.
You know, it's sort of like you're going to have to arrange your cult meeting to power the thing up. Then you got to arrange to get it to whatever site is. So it's like a decoration in the room you're going to. Get the spell on the old man. Get him with her. Have them do their things. As soon as you also
puts all of it in one place.
And then, you know, have someone activate the eye then as they're leaving the two of them to their business. You know.
Boat also moves and can escape.
Mm-hmm.
But convention is, but a building.
I will warn you, the problem of the boat that's different from the most of the building is it's more vulnerable to damage.
It can sink.
The building could collapse, but it's usually a lot harder for that to happen.
You know, a boat needs a couple good hits.
But the building, we can have our army literally on the inside.
Wait, that lightning brings up a good point. If I cast a spell on the old man, just concentrate on it, or someone does.
Yeah.
It's not until it's dispelled. We don't have to do everything super rapidly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We can just polymorph. So that would be step one.
I thought True Polymorph was up to an hour.
So it's an hour. It's up to an hour, but if you concentrate on it for the full duration, it's permanent.
Concentration up to an hour. Oh yeah.
If you concentrate on the spell for the full duration, the transformation lasts until it is dispelled.
Okay.
And I can technically cast this.
Hmm.
So.
Yeah.
I think if it's on your list, you don't have to make a roll for it, right? Even if.
Yeah, I mean, you could polymorph the old man, then. Yep.
But still better to do it closer to the time, just in case something somehow dispels it.
Yeah, I mean,
we don't have to do it instantly. So
yeah, it's not like we have to. It's not like this man has an hour.
Yeah. You probably want to also. You could probably make it a more sexy, well-defined version of himself in his youth or something, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe a little more elven and not at that level.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we could do that. That's sorted.
Yeah.
We just gotta figure out where we're doing this. And boat idea has too many problems, and I hate to say it, but DevilCon isn't a terrible idea.
It is probably our best option that we thought of.
This convoluted idea that I
It
came
is
up
on
with.
brand for these. It is on brand for the others to come up with something like this.
It really is. This is kind of how D&D games go.
I mean, it's on brand for your group as it's been at this point in time.
Yeah.
Let's have a devil convention and invite everybody and have it. All right.
Someone probably threw
we
it
can
out
have
as like
our
a
army
joke.
literally disguised among the guests if it's attacked by angels. On top of that, we can have our secret goings on the top floor. We can have as many of the cultists as we want. Contributing to the
Yeah.
All right. So I guess you're gonna start setting up DevilCon. How far in advance do you want to set this up?
we should probably have. I'll be honest, we should probably take 2 months to set this
Should
up.
probably be, properly done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair though, we also don't have to do a legit one. We can basically just have it into a quote like a local one. Because that's the thing, it doesn't have to be like a state con. It doesn't have to be an international con. It can just be a local con.
Mm-hmm.
And it can be, wow, there are a lot more devils in the local area than I thought. Or
and if we bring in some innocent folk, like deter some lawful good creatures from, mindlessly slaughtering.
Well, there are neutral and chaotic good
Yeah.
ones too that may
Yeah,
be
there
up
are.
with. And,
So-
and
there
they,
are also chaotic evil ones though.
well, I mean, like,
Yeah.
well, on the
Yeah.
good side, they might be like, if for the greater good, we'd be willing to, destroy this building with innocents in it. For the greater good,
I gotta
Yeah,
feel
even
good
lawful,
about
even
it,
lawful
but-
good will do that on certain occasions.
Yeah. I think
So,
this is
I
one of
mean-
them occasions they might do that.
Probably, yeah. So yeah, that's.
Wow.
What city do we want to have this in? I'm assuming we're doing it in Callenport.
Townport would probably be the easiest because you wouldn't have to do a lot to transport a large number of devils
army.
that you already control to a convention center.
Yeah.
Also, you can your cultists are all there.
Yeah.
Do you? Are you going to disguise your devils, or what are you going to do? Just have them walk in it? How are you
In fact,
going
we can literally just have this as a convention for our cult. We don't even have to be discreet about it.
No, true. You have technically been publicly putting out join the Asmodean cult kind of thing, join the worship of Asmodeus. You
So
have
doing like a full-on convention for it, and again, she doesn't have, or Jessica doesn't have to know that this is a part of it.
it's at a hotel. She could be upstairs. Yeah,
Yeah,
It
yeah.
just so happens to be like where the convention was going there.
Yeah. Oh boy.
Oh
And I
boy!
thought-
Now, to be
thought-
fair, putting our cult's name on it is literally saying, "Hey, there's a giant gathering here to the
Yeah,
outsiders."
but remember, you never gave your cult name to Jessica, though. At least.
No, we didn't.
I'm so glad I didn't come up with this one.
Yeah.
I'm surprised I'm the one who came up with it. I usually have a lot more straight fly ideas.
Okay. I'm just like trying to think of other details that are important to work out here before, you know.
Well, we have to hire, if we're doing this legit, we're gonna have to hire convention staff and.
You could probably hire your cult members to be convention staff.
Yeah.
I think you could look it up.
Yeah.
Find an appropriate
Yeah.
building to rent out.
Are you going to call upon all the allies that you've made so far, kind
We're
of?
gonna call the super friends, yeah.
You could definitely get your original 5 and all the cult members that they've helped recruit since then. Of course, Bob will be in charge of his devil strike force that'll be hiding in plain
Yep.
sight.
He can also make snacks and like goodies for the convention too. He does baking.
He does. He can do baking. Certainly you can get Fall to show up.
Oh god, hell yeah.
Oh,
My other assassin friend.
oh, the important news about Lei and her good old partner there, Kahira.
And then I forgot. And then Travis.
Yeah, Travis and the rest of them are there. Yeah.
Do you remember Travis?
Yeah.
Remember who Travis is?
Travis, the delivery
Pizza
man.
delivery man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Travis, Marcus, and Malachus.
That was our friend.
Yep.
Malachus, who's basically, if I would describe how each of
Malachus
this was.
is a serial killer.
Yeah, he's a serial killer, but he's like the corporate one. So he's very like, what is it? The one
IT
with
guy,
Christian Bale,
yeah.
where he's like the corporate guy. That's a serial
American
killer. He's very American Psycho. Of course, Robin, you know. Marcus, who's basically like an elderly assassin, who's been an assassin for way too long. Travis, who got into death games and won them. Basically like a event run by the underground in a city where you're supposed to find people and fight them to the death throughout the city. Yeah, he won that one.
Oh.
Yeah, so you got those super friends, and of course you've got a Flump super friend. Um,
I guess Travis is going to be in charge of like organizing the actual security.
unfortunately,
Yeah.
you're not going to get as much help from Lei or Kahira
Fair.
because they are both a child.
Oh, that's nice.
That's what they went and did because there's magic technology for that shit. Plus, they're outsiders, which makes it really easy to combine magic and that kind of stuff.
Well, that's nice for them.
Uh-huh. They decided to settle down and start a family.
Oh.
Can't Uranus switch genders? Then that's the thing.
I don't think that's a thing. Maybe.
No, Ernest, I don't think can.
No, but they got magical insemination help. There's freaking magic. You think they're not going to figure out crap like that with magic
No, I know,
medical
I know,
technology?
I'm just saying. I'm
You
just
know.
saying. It's just like.
There's,
I thought that was a thing.
yeah,
I
there's-
mean, I know succubi and incubi can in some cases. Depends.
they have a natural form and they can technically change genders and technically stay in those genders for proper period of time, and that is sometimes where half-feeds come from, of various appropriate genders.
Yeah.
I like this lesbian
Doc is gonna be an uncle.
Dox is indeed going to be an uncle.
Oh boy.
They'll
That worked out. He's had children.
they'll be there to help out, but they're going to try to avoid major confrontations.
Oh,
You know,
completely understandable.
Mhm. They'll be kind of like on the core force. Okay, I don't know if off the top of my head if there's anybody else you can call upon. You could technically call for assistance from Os, but I don't know how much they're going to respond.
What about
I think our local cult should be enough for this.
dumb question?
Mm-hmm.
We put like a horrible ghost monster in charge of like a very powerful and rich company. Kinda owes us a favor,
Yes.
essentially.
Yes,
to call
you did.
upon
Oh,
him.
yeah.
Yeah.
We could call. Actually, yeah, he's a businessman. We could call on him just to help us organize it.
With 2 months' notice, he can effectively bring in a boost to the security, both physically and magically to the premises. He could. Their company knows a good thing about it, and as much as Calimport is nice, I don't think from the way that they work they would have quite as good a security in general on the premise, especially the hotel. So they could upgrade the security heavily and help you with that, and probably along with Foul, your now Yakuza friend, a group maybe like an elite strike force of people he can send. Yeah, sure, you can go upon him. I'd be willing to assist in that matter. Okay. So, you have your Kozakorin strike force, upgrade security. All of your devils and allies as possible that you've called upon. Anybody else or anything else you want to call upon, or are we going to keep it at that for now, you think?
I mean, obviously we got Bob, who's going to be in charge of the army, and we'll put the other two, like Malachus and Travis, in charge of helping disguise and collaborate the army, because I think that's going to be a bit more than just what Bob can handle for this purpose.
Marcus can probably be on a lookout then too, since he's an assassin. He probably can basically be. You could have him be a sniper in support around the building if there is like an attack from devils or angels or something.
Yeah, Marcus can basically be the lookout. He can basically be the person, our first warning sign.
Yeah.
He's actually going to arrange some equipment for you from him then.
Yeah.
He's probably going to get some very expensive, very illegal equipment for this then.
Nice.
Because this is not normal assassination. His skills aren't normally for this, but he thinks he can accommodate.
Yeah, we need just to be able to detect angel presences when they appear before they even get in contact. Like, the sooner we can detect the presence of an angel or a demon, the better.
He'll probably call upon some high explosives and basically like a normal rifle and probably a 50 cal rifle because he thinks that might be able to pierce the defensive abilities of an outsider.
It might.
I'm just saying it probably will.
Yep.
And we do also got to remember that if necessary, it is better to bring down the building and bring the eye and the woman to safety than the eye
to lose
and,
everything.
Yep. Basically, so that way what we just did can happen in another couple 100,000 years.
Yeah. There is one bit of preparation Dox is going to take upon himself, because Dox has lost his warlock pads at this point. He's going to remake that with a fiend.
Okay.
I'm not sure which one, but he's going to remake his pad.
Okay.
Probably just make it with Asmodeus.
It's either going to be Asmodeus or the Lord of Dis. I forget what his name is.
You certainly could get it directly from Asmodeus here, very easily. It's certainly like...
for that one.
Yeah, not too difficult
Doc's
to do.
going to make it on the deal.
Okay.
So what little is left of him to now just fully be involved with
Okay.
fiend shenanigans?
I think, unless there's anything else we want to work out, we probably want to end early. Because, I'll be honest, it's gonna be crazy.
Yeah.
No, it's basically the final events, the final battle is probably next game.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure the finale is going to be next then. I think you've set it up for everything. And if it's like, is there any more details you want to add in? We've kind of got this entire basis set up for it. We're ready. We got the plan. I think when we start, it'll be right at the beginning of the convention, kind of thing.
I was considering maybe seeing if the Elven Mafia would get involved, but I'm not getting involved.
Okay, that's fine.
So I'm just gonna go through and write everything down.
Yes.
Because according to Kusa, military security.
Yep.
Then we've got, then we've got the, Kozakoran, Yakuza, and Kozakoran businessman. I forget his name. What is his name?
God, Dandro. The Dandros.
Yeah, the Dandro. It is technically... Where's his name here? Mitsui Dandro. It actually is Mitsui Dandro because you had him possess You had him basically reincarnate into his descendant.
That's fine.
And then we've got Bob, Malachus, and Travis. Travis, organizing and disguising army.
Malcolm on outside defense.
Yeah, and then Malcolm on outside defense.
Yeah.
Marcus.
Yeah.
Outside defense.
I'm just trying to think of I'm trying to think if there's anything I've forgotten that I can give her suggestions, but
then Andrew and Robin. Organizing.
Yep.
Events. Then we've got random cult members.
Random cult members who make up both the staff and probably a large portion of the event goers, since they'll be there activating an artifact.
And security. Because they'll be probably part of the security to some degree.
Yeah.
And then lastly, I think we should probably say Jessica and what's the
Roland something.
Yeah. Jessica and
Roland Styland.
Just gonna Roland, upper floor.
Mm-hmm. Let me get the penthouse or something that the two of them could be at.
Yeah.
Leave my
Penthouse.
slippers there, Aurora. Good.
Seemingly.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I think that's
What?
most of what we got.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think we need anything, or we really have anything else ally-wise.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
can't think of anything. You've called upon your main forces definitely by a good degree.
I mean, that's kind of the point. This is the end, so.
I mean, you technically have mafia connections. You could use Docs, it's just not going to involve his family.
And there's
I
only
mean, we're already involved in the Yakuza, but I don't know of direct mafia that our characters.
there's only one other
There's
group.
ones that Dozy was involved in,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
we didn't really build a huge relationship with them.
Oh yeah,
No.
because she didn't want to get into that guy.
Yeah,
Fair.
I think there's only one other group I could think of that you could call upon, but I don't know how you would convince them, kind of thing.
What's the group?
The Devils of Oz.
Yeah, I don't.
Nope. Keep them away.
Uh-huh.
They'll
We
ruin it.
really have a way to get them here. / also, they're kind of dicks.
They are kind of dicks.
No,
that's an issue.
Yeah, you see, we don't know his opinion on his parent coming around, and he might mess things up intentionally, and we don't want that.
That is always a truth with
Also, we're probably already gonna have enough doubles. We don't need powerful ones as well.
I mean, it could.
It couldn't, theoretically, but I mean, you
Could, that's the problem.
technically could use some of your evil stuff if you wanted to. You have a combination of different evil things you could use. The stuff from the cult, certainly, or the stuff from Kozakura.
Well, the sword's not being taken back out of the cardboard box. Unless one of you wants it, I'm not touching it again.
Uh-huh.
Um,
You have the beholder ring that someone could theoretically use and just, attract the attention of every beholder in Beirut.
More pets?
I don't think handle animal will work on a beholder.
I gotta admit,
not?
the one person that could maybe use an item here is that Mishka could probably attempt to use the beast mask of the mask of Malar. The problem with that is you'd have to avoid the influence of Malar, and then you could summon more pets, but aka convert a whole bunch of people to
Bad kind of
lycanthropes.
pets.
I mean, it converts
But
people to
Mark is like-
lycanthropes.
Yeah. You create a whole problem with that, and then, I don't. See, the problem is I don't know what a lot of these items do.
Uh-huh. Well, Chalice of Souls you figured out.
Chalice of Souls is no longer in our possession.
Yeah. Wand of Orcus, it does the Wand of Orcus things. The Skull of the Lich King, I mean, if you would empower it, you could effectively do some things with it. It would involve, giving it souls.
Mm-hmm.
And the rest of them.
I forget what the blood gem does.
That's one that I'm trying to remember. I remember a little bit of the other ones. But blood gem.
I genuinely don't know what the magical true darkness is.
Yeah, those are the two that I don't remember where my notes on them are, unfortunately. Most of these I know. I mean, you also could you probably don't want to do that, summon Mephistopheles. I was for a second you could summon Mephistopheles, but I'm that's probably a terrible idea. I gave that option so long ago, but it's always been a terrible idea.
Yep.
We only have good ideas like Devil Con.
I mean, the thing about Mephistopheles, he might not be too happy about
No, he might not.
about Asmodeus showing up.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. I don't remember what else items you found in the below.
think I wrote down what we found in the...
I mean,
There was like a gun, a hat, some
Yeah.
a mummified hand.
I was thinking the stuff you found in the cult center because I don't know who
Oh,
everybody.
I wasn't here for any of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it was like we used the things we can use, and we hid the
Yeah.
things we don't.
Yeah, you
Uh-huh.
like you used the scroll of gate, and you haven't used the Mephistopheles gem, but I forget. And I guess you did use the rest of them to do some things. Okay. All right. Yep. So I mean, unless you want to use any of those things, I guess we're pretty set up at this point in time, theoretically.
Was that there?
Yeah. I guess we're ready to skip ahead to the convention then, I guess, at that point in time.
Yeah.
Yep. So why don't we end it here? We're definitely a little early, but as soon as we get next time, it's the start of Devil... what do you want to call it? DevilCon? Asmodeus Con?
DevilCon, I hate it so much.
Asmocon.
Asmocon? Oh god, Asmocon.
That's what they would name it too. Like, if you're having a convention to Dark Evil Lord,
Asmocon.
you need to make it sound friendly and inviting. So
Yeah,
you need to make-
Asmocon definitely has that kind of friendly, inviting name.
Let's see, titles.
I like Asmocon.
Well, if you think of something better
We could
during
call
the
it
week,
RubyCon.
you could call it RubyCon.
This whole Ruby Rod is a...
Uh-huh. Well, why don't we leave it for now, and if you think of a better... oh, I like that better too. Asmocon, the Z.
Oh, yes.
Sounds more exotic.
Sounds more funny.
Mm-hmm. Whatever. You'll think of a name
That's
sometime
just
during this week, I assume. If anybody thinks of a better name, you can always throw
It's
it in.
probably going to be Asmocon.
Probably.
It's just dumb enough to be great.
It's just dumb enough to be great. It really is. Oh my. Well, I think we'll definitely end it here. Call it. Wait for next week to do all this insanity, because it sounds like next week's going to be the finale.
Yep.
We're hitting the finale of Records. So
I'm sorry for throwing a convention at you.
don't. Again,
No, I know.
I like this idea
It's
so
just-
much
I want
more
to
than
know.
like,
I want to know what your idea was.
the thing is, I had a couple of ideas about what you could do on it, and as you were discussing, I was like, I think that I like this a little better. I like this a little better, and like as you were discussing, I was thinking of like options for these things that you could develop more, and like how they would work out with my basic plans, and so like that's what I was kind of doing. I had like a couple general ideas of what you could do, followed by that one of the ideas I had is you could have just constructed a building somewhere.
Yeah.
That's actually you want to know what's really funny is I was about to suggest that when my brain said con.
That was the thing I was thinking of. I'm like when I was talking about it, I'm like, you guys could just like build a building somewhere,
like build a building in the desert.
yeah, make like a really nice like
honestly, you could build the building in a month or two.
yeah, a really nice like manor place that would have like an underground area for evil rituals with a large cult and grounds and stuff, and maybe some buildings nearby where you could create a couple of buildings with ones nearby that could have like devils, and that's what I was originally thinking. But I like Asmocon so much better.
Convention,
I like it so much better. So much better. The practical idea out the window. Convention in here, boom, much better.
Hey, the world is going to be fully aware of what is happening.
I'm going to tell you, the world was going to be aware of some of the stuff that was happening as soon as this went down.
No, and that's what I kind of figure, and that's why I think building defensively instead of secretively is a better idea.
So, let's have people give shout-outs of where to find them and stuff like that. I'm going to go reverse my normal, because normally I'm counterclockwise, but I'm going to be crazy today since we're at the finale and go clockwise and go Momo.
Shit. Hi, I am Momo Shu, or Momo Shu on Twitch, Addy Shu on Twitter. I haven't streamed in a while, and I barely use Twitter anymore. So we're gonna see what I end up doing when I have more free time.
Mm-hmm. And we'll move it on to Worm.
I stream. I'm Diamond Worm. You can find me on twitch.tv/DiamondWorm or @DiamondWorm on Twitter. Twitter is a mixed bag, whatever. I sometimes use it. But streaming, I've been streaming every Thursday, mostly Warframe, at around 11:30 PST, or basically, let's see, what time do we start EST? Start this game?
2
Yeah.
EST.
So, or 2:30 EST. There we go. So I stream it either 11:30 PST or 2:30 EST.
Mm-hmm.
I just know. I didn't want. My brain wasn't doing math. So catch me on Thursdays there on my channel.
And last but very, very certainly not least is, of course, Jinx.
I'm Jinx Jams on Twitch and Twitter and pretty much anything else you could think of. I will be trying to stream later today. My schedule's been very iffy. But I will be trying to stream later today, and then Thursdays or Fridays is my community days where we just play games. So, hang out.
Yep. Myself, Fantasy Down of Dracovin. RPG schedule. Tomorrow at 2 p.m. Theoretically, Legacies of Kain. That's on the schedule. Vampire the Masquerade game. Thursdays at 9 in the evening now. We've been changing the time a little bit, but that's just been some rescheduling because of people getting new jobs. Because apparently 2 people ended up having schedule changes, and so we had to schedule our schedule twice. But it's fine. We go from like 9 to midnight Thursdays. That's the Magic the Gathering game. So D&D meets Magic the Gathering. We're in Dominaria. Saturdays 2 p.m. EST. Discussing tabletop discussion show, really great one. I will be on the Unfunny One's channel. Is it just Unfunny One?
I think that's the channel.
Twitch.tv/Unfunny1. I'm gonna be on his channel. I never remember if it's the or if it's just Unfunny One. That's my fault for forgetting. It's just Unfunny One.
It is just Unfunny One.
Thanks,
Just
Lightning.
Unfunny One.
I'll be on his channel like around 8:30 tomorrow for Star Trek. We do Star Trek Adventures. I'm a player. I really like that one. It's fun. It's a limited joint, so that's another place to check me out. And one of these weeks I'll get back to doing some gaming streams at some point in time where I actually have finally fixed my schedule a little bit and actually add a schedule into my existence beyond these games. Because they're the only thing that I've consistently kept on my schedule. Isn't that wonderful? I'm glad about it, at least, though. So yeah, everybody, have a good rest of your week, good rest of your day. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay sane. And hopefully you can join us theoretically next week when we're going to have this big old finale. And it's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
And it's going to finally be the end of Records of Evil. It's, we kind of been floating around the finale for a while now, but definitely...
Watch, the finale's gonna take 2 games.
I don't know. Who knows?
It's possible.
It is possible.
With our luck, it will.
Again,
And 4 months to finish.
I mean, I'm going to... I will
I
tell...
shouldn't jinx it.
Haha, jinx. I will tell people that once Records is done, I'm going to leave that slot kind of open for a while, give it a couple of weeks before I even start thinking about a replacement show, but I will be planning for something to replace it. I don't know if it's going to be on Mondays or a different day, but I will add something back into the schedule that's another role-playing game at some point, at least a couple weeks later. I'll start looking into it. I want to take a little bit of off before we consider replacements. I'm going to do the same with Legacies, take a few off, and then start figuring out replacements for them. Just because, like, I've enjoyed these long-term campaigns. This is the last little bit I'm going to give out here. But I'm going to try to come up with campaigns that are a little bit more, I guess, episodic. You know, that, like, if it's a long campaign, it's got a part we'll play in, and we can take a break for a while, do something else, and then maybe get back to it in the future, or not. You know? That's what I'm going to try to play them as. So it gives chances for changes up and stuff. Anyway, regardless, bye everyone, farewell. Farewell and farewell.